with that being said, let's kind of shift gears. Let's take a look at Colorado's schedule here, and we kind of touched on this a little bit. We touched on TCU. I think they beat TCU. You think TCU beats them. We jump into Nebraska again. Children of the Corn. He's one of our super fans here on the show.
Yeah, like this guy.
Here's the reality of the situation, man. I picked, and you're gonna like this. All right. I know last week I was rocking an Iowa hat. I only did that because I had a bet on the Hawkeyes women's basketball team against South Carolina.
And you did pull that off, right? That 5K dub?
I pulled it off, son. Winner, chicken dinner. Take some months off work right there. No, here's
work your entire life. Let's be honest.
Right. Buy some Ball Mall lights and some more scratch off tickets with that kind of shit.
And a fucking cowboy hat. Yeah.
God damn it, right, son? I'll go buy a trailer park. I'm Doug Dimmadome in this bitch.
Now you know what you look like?
What's that?
You look like a fucking trailer park manager.
Dude,
you do, but you're also living in a trailer. That actually is fitting for you Georgia people. God, I'm gonna piss some people off with that comment, but I love it. Perfect, Christian.
I'm like the fucking I don't know, dude. I'm like the Bud Light version of fucking Yellowstone.
Yeah, you're about. You know what, man? You know what, dude? You look like that guy, dude. You do. You truly do, man.
Hey, you gotta poke fun at yourself. What I was trying to say about Children of the Corn here, if he's still on and listening, is I got Nebraska actually winning the Big Ten West this year.
God damn.
I think first year, Rule unfucks some shit over there. I think Nebraska gets back on. I think they take advantage of a relatively weak Big Ten West.
I mean, if you're looking for my answer on this, I'm not saying that. Oh, man, I want it to happen so freaking bad. I can't put my foot in the ground yet. I can't with a Big Ten West. And you're saying we're playing in the Big Ten title game, is what you're saying.
Oh, I'm not saying you're winning it, but yeah, I'm saying you're playing in it.
Right? No. Oh, man,
yeah,
that would.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'd do if we did that. For real.
Oh,
that's tough, man. I mean, no, I love your fucking enthusiasm on it, but like, that's rough, man. That would be not that we can't, and it's there if Rule says who he is, and we all want to get, most people get caught up in the hype, right? About every single coach, new coach. I did it for Scott Frost. Matt, I'm not, it's so funny. I think I mentioned this before. I'll mention it again. I was not big on Matt Rule coming here. I believe I told a lot of people I don't think he was the guy for the job, but just kind of changed my mind with everything he's done. And I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for that too, because there's a lot of people in Nebraska that don't think he's the right guy either, but I like what he's done, man, the recruiting class and everything like that this year. And we do have a very, 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 very favorable schedule. So we'll move on with that, Christian.
You know who is arguably, in my opinion, this isn't actually an arguable thing. Colorado State hasn't been that great either, right?
No. I think Colorado wins that game.
Oh, 100%. I give them that. Then they get into what is the gauntlet of the schedule. They're going to play.
I don't care who you are in the nation playing those two teams. You can stick an SEC school to play those two teams right there in back to back. I don't care who the fuck you are.
Yeah, I think that's. I hate to say it, LL. So I got them right there. I got 1. I think Nebraska wins that game. 2. LL. It's a tough one at Arizona State.
Yeah, I know.
Let's go back here. Where did Arizona State finish? So they finished 3. I draw a line right about here as far as who I think they can beat, just so we're clear. Right there.
They're going to beat Arizona State, dude. I'm not. They don't have Herm Edwards anymore. I don't think that team is that scary. I guess I just don't. I really don't. I think there's such a big discrepancy between the uppers of the Pac-12 in the middle than everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do too. I mean, it's like any conference out there. It's, there's going to be a game that they probably win, they shouldn't, and there's going to be a game that they shouldn't lose, but they do anyways. I mean, it never fails. So, like I said, give me in this situation. I think they beat Arizona State. I think they're going to beat Stanford because David Shaw is not there, and even these two programs. I mean, they've slipped from their relevancy a lot, anyways. I think Deion's a more polarizing figure. The talent's going to be too much for both these schools here, even in that Pac-12. And then they get kind of back into the rough shot area here. Go ahead.
No, and then you just poked on UCLA there with Chip Kelly. I that one's the one that's really, really to me, I think is a toss-up game. You know what I mean? UCLA, whether they start off season 21st or they're up there somewhere. I mean, they've lost some people. I just think that game at UCLA gonna be really tough for Colorado. I'm not worried about Oregon State. And I'm just gonna rattle through my teams here and I'll flip it back to you, Christian, if that's okay. Arizona. I mean, none of these, a lot of those, that bottom half, Utah's, I love Utah. Like, I just love the mindset of that team and their head coach. It's going to be tough, man. I just, like you said, I kind of think where we kind of come to agree on the first 5 or 6 games, kind of where Colorado's going to be with record wise. After that, I think it's like, man, I think Colorado could run table after that too. They also could fucking lose 3 out of 6 games there too. We haven't, I got to check myself when I talk about Colorado. I kind of realized it was some of the good points that you've made tonight. It's like, damn, like this team was 1-11 last year. They don't have anybody else really off that team, but they also could, fail too, as far as these last 6 games go. It could go either way, right?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, we talked about it before we got on the show. I was kind of showing you some clips and stuff like that I had actually just found of their spring, and it's kind of like, man, dude, just for reference here, for those people that don't know this, I'm 6'3", 300 and some odd pounds, right? So I can tell you right now, I could probably go walk on and be sort of the beef bottom. Deion, by the way, I live on my own, so technically I don't have any parents in my household. So I'm what you want, son, as a defensive lineman. I'm nasty. I'm ready to get with it.
Making the spiel for, Christian Hunt coming in, tearing it up on the D line.
I'm just saying, dude, I got 4 years of eligibility. Let's get it. Getting back to their schedule, though, again, UCLA, I got Chip Kelly in that. I think they're not that I think they're going to be a better program long term, especially with Deion. I just think it's in this game right there. I think UCLA at UCLA, UCLA. I think UCLA is going to beat them. Oregon State was a damn good team last year. Believe it or not, they were ranked 17th. I think is that what they
crazy last year.
Yeah,
crazy,
I mean, so
for them.
And they bring in DJ the Ukulele.
Yeah.
Butchered that, but they're bringing that kid in, and I think he'll actually light the world on fire there over at Oregon State. So I like them in that game. Damn. Arizona, I'll give them the win at Arizona. Washington State, no, you like Washington State. I don't think they beat Washington State and Utah. I don't think there's any way they beat them either. So then if we go back through and where I said 5 and 7, so that's 1, 2, Colorado State, 3, Arizona State, 4, Stanford, 5 is Arizona.
No, and I mean you're not wrong. I mean a 5 and 7 season is probably the more realistic, outcome to this whole thing. But I am going to just put my foot in the ground. I don't have obviously I don't have a bunch of proof that Colorado's going to fucking win 7 or 8 games this year. No, I don't. I think the hype's going to be real, man. I think they're going to really turn it around after the first 4 or 5 games. They're going to be playing some good teams, man. And I think that's going to make them better. And that's why I think they'll, get into that middle of that Pac-12 schedule, man, and start rattling off some wins. I truly, truly do with the athletes they have. And like I said, I'm going to say it again. Like I got to fucking keep repeating myself every time about the Pac-12. Not much defense is played in that conference. I'm not saying Colorado has a good defense. Not at all. But they got better athletes than some of these people do on the outside. So that's where I think they get the 7 wins. And that's in, my fantasy dream season of Colorado this year. And I'll put my foot in the ground and I'm going to stay there.